See ya.
There we go!
Get going.
Oh.
Get like a...
It's gone.
Gone.
All right, there you go.
I feel like you got that one.
Hey guys, it's the Swingman here, back with another upload. I apologize for the lack of uploads lately. I was out of town with the family for a family reunion, and we own a family business, so there was a lot of preparation that allowed us to make that trip. So I apologize about that, but I will have a lot more content for you guys more often and get back on track. Before I get started, real quick, shout out to Stinger Bats for sending me out this awesome jersey. I will be wearing it in this video you're going to see today. Matching the hat here too as well. Swingman written across the back with my number. You guys will see it in the video. It's an awesome jersey. All this stuff is available for you on their website, stingerwoodbats.com. Use promo code TheSwingman for 15% off your order. For today, it's going to be something a little different. I'm going to introduce the tee game to you guys, and while I'm showing you clips of us actually playing the game, I'm going to tell you guys a cool story about my minor league experiences, and I'll have this as a new segment of my channel and give you guys some cool clips to watch while I tell the story. So with the tee game, basically it's designed for competition. It could be one-on-one. In this one, it's actually 3 of us playing the game. Being that it's 3 guys, it's more of a pitching competition. You don't want to give up the most amount of runs. So as a hitter, you'll have 2 tees, 1 on each corner of the plate. You could set that up and have an agreement on how difficult you want the strike zone to be, or if you want it more narrow to focus on pitches over the plate, that's up to you. So now that the tees are set up, when we're hitting the ball in the field, anything that hits the infield dirt or grass is an automatic out. It's a ground out, so man on first, automatic double play. Ball has to land in the outfield. Ball has to be squared up. It has to be hit hard. No bloop singles into the outfield. So judgment on the gaps and the lines, whether you want it to be a double. There's no triples in the game. And as far as home runs, one simple rule, you have to pimp it. So you'll see in this video we have a couple of pimp jobs that you'll say double in the bottom corner because they didn't quite get out. But it is a rule, and that's what, if you're looking for that ability to naturally have that reaction in the game, this is perfect for it, because during the games we do it all the time. So it's all in good fun, and again, it kind of takes you away from the normal everyday batting practice that you might have and gives it a little extra twist, and you can work on the mental part of the game when it comes to picking good pitches to hit. We're mixing in fastball changeups from about 50 feet away with the L screen there, so we're not wasting our arms. We're throwing just maybe a little harder than normal batting practice speed with our fastball, and we just mix in changeups. When we're getting a little more into it, we'll snap off curveballs, but in this game, we're just doing fastball changeups. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. While you're watching the video, I'm going to tell you one of my favorite stories that I like to tell in my minor league career. Thanks for watching.
Oh boy. Oh boy. That escalated quickly. Oh my god.
All right, guys, so you can see there, Flinny started off the game with an absolute bomb into the top of the trees. So that's why we're cracking up. We thought it was going to be a long game, which it was a lot of run scoring, and we did lose some balls in this game. But going into one of my stories that I like to tell, this is a hot topic right now, is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. So right now he's playing for the Buffalo Bisons. I'm from Buffalo, New York, so it's our plan to go out and watch him play next week when they're back into town. But my story has to do with his dad. I was a huge fan of watching Vladimir Guerrero play when I was growing up, and I actually had the opportunity to watch him live when I was with the Orioles. He was actually wrapping up his career, and he was also in the Orioles organization. And basically, it was me getting the call to go to the big league facility to scrimmage the big league squad. And this was during my first spring training with the Orioles back in 2011. So for you guys that don't know, I was drafted in 2010 in the 13th round. That's the same year Manny Machado was drafted, which that will be another story of mine. Me and Manny were locker mates our whole first professional career. So that story's coming for you guys too. So, but yeah, I got drafted in 2010. My first spring in 2011, I got my first call to go to big league camp and scrimmage the big league guys. So basically, I showed up to the field with a group of guys, all dressed up, ready to go. We got our Orioles gear on, our Orioles bags with us, and we're just standing in the parking lot, not sure where to go. We're all kind of really excited. We're all, new guys in the system. So while we're waiting for an answer, all of a sudden, out of the corner of my eye, I see this little golf cart being driven around like an animal. Comes around the parking lot and hits his brakes, and sure enough, it's Buck Showalter sitting there, and he comes out of the golf cart. He's like, "Hey, what's going on, boys?" And right there, I was super excited, and he told us that the guys are warming up in the field, and we could go right ahead and get onto the field. They had the gates open in the outfield, so we're walking around the big league spring training field down there in Sarasota, and as soon as I got in the field, I could recognize the stance and the swing from the distance. As Vladimir Guerrero was taking batting practice, and it was the whole group of the whole middle of the order was there. At the time, it was there's Luke Scott, Derek Lee, God, who else was in that group? Yeah, it's going to be tough for me to recall some. I know it's going to hit me as I'm telling this story about the other guys, but really the reason why it's tough for me to remember is because I was so starstruck by Vladimir Guerrero. He was one of my favorites growing up. And so we get onto the field, and I see his swing. The wind's blowing straight in, first of all. So it was probably a good, consistent 18 to 25 mile an hour wind straight in from left center field. And Vladimir Guerrero acted like there was no wind at all, because these balls he was hitting out of the park straight into the teeth of the wind were going out of the stadium, and it was incredible to watch. He was just taking his legitimate Guerrero hacks and hitting the ball out, no batting gloves, and I was enjoying it even from the outfield. So I'm walking up the warning track. He's done with his round as we're entering into the field. He's wrapping up his round. And I'm walking up. Now I'm seeing Derek Lee taking his round. Again, another monster dude. He's like 6'6". And he's taking his round. I'm not really paying attention where Vlad went, but I'm walking up the first base line, and sure enough, there's Vlad. He had his little bag with him and his bat, and he's coming out of the dugout, just in his little trot out of the dugout. And he's making his way to the clubhouse, and I was literally maybe 2 feet from the guy, and he looks at me. He's like, "What's going on, bud?" And this is the first moment in my career that I was starstruck, and I couldn't say anything. I think I might have said good or hi or something like that, but in all honesty, I froze, and I just didn't know what to do or say. But that moment right there, for him was just seeing another minor leaguer. But for me, man, it was the world for me. And that was just the beginning of a lot of moments where I got to meet and actually talk to and sit down and spend time with big leaguers. But yeah, he was definitely one of the biggest ones that ever addressed me as a human being. So, but yeah, as far as that day went, after he ended up leaving, going back to the clubhouse, he didn't play in the scrimmage game against us. But I watched the rest of the rounds that the guys were taking. No one really had the power. Oh, Mark Reynolds, that was another one. Mark Reynolds was in the middle of that lineup at the time too, and but no one was really hitting the ball like Vlad did. So we get warmed up, and we're getting into the game, and basically that was my first time really getting to experience big league pitching. Chris Tillman, I got to face him. I hit a single off of him, and I also got to face Jake Arrieta, and I also got to base it off of him. His was a broken bat single, but still, it was a single. But yeah, no, it was a fun day. It was a great day. Well, I shouldn't say great weather-wise. The weather was absolutely brutal, but as far as the wind goes. I was an outfielder for the Orioles, so it was a circus out there for all of us that were playing the outfield. But no, it was definitely cool. It was great. Their facilities are excellent there. They just redid everything. The big league field was not connected to the minor league fields, kind of like the Red Sox are. But yeah, it was about a 10-minute drive away from the minor league facilities to get to the big league facilities. But yeah, definitely being there and having the opportunity to see those guys play was awesome. And again, being able to walk away with a couple hits too was pretty sweet. But yeah, so that's one of my stories. I'll have a lot more for you guys coming up soon. But you can see here, and while I'm telling this story, we're racking up some runs against Flinny. We ended up scoring 7 off of him in this game. I think I had 5 home runs, or I had a lot. But yeah, I'm definitely feeling good at the play. I'm dying to play. Our last couple games got canceled, but yeah, overall at the end of it, Flinny ended up giving up 7 runs, so he came in last place. Me and Alex, we end up tying. We both gave up 3 runs. We're gonna show his pimp job here. It was a good pimp job. I have to give that to him, but it also hit the fence, so we also have to bring that into play. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the upload. I hope you enjoyed the stories. Let me know what you think about the stories. I'll have a lot more coming up for you guys, but I think it'll be a cool little thing to add to my channel. Again, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more.